welcome to Herald TV News at 3 with Misha Lane. The main petitioner in the Cerula Comunidad land grab case, Trajano de Mello, has demanded the appointment of a fast-track court to probe fraudulent land grab deals, which have come to light after the Herald expose on such deals. He questioned the terms of reference of the government-appointed special investigation team and said fraud-related arrests are a smokescreen. Trajano also questioned if SIT is constituted under Commission of Inquiry Act and demands that the investigation should be time-bound and supervised by a retired judge if victims are to get justice.
Appoint a fast-track court to probe fraudulent land grab deals, says Trajano de Mello. Trajano questions the terms of reference of the government-appointed SIT. Trajano also alleged that political touts are trying to make deals with the victims to sell their rights.
That this investigation should be time-bound, case to case. Moment they catch hold of a case, it should be settled one way or the other. Either for a charge sheet or say there is nothing in there. Will this SIT be supervised by a retired judge? Or it is going to go on, as there are so many committees formed, just by an administrative order. PMC demands that if the people who have been defrauded, जी कोणाचे जागे fraud करून transfer झालेले तिंका justice मेवतली, that a fast-track court should be appointed. Otherwise, you are fooling the people. Those people who have been defrauded by their properties will never able to enjoy it during their lifetime. Never able to use it during their lifetime. If you are going to allow it to go under normal procedure. Therefore, we reiterate that the demand is a very genuine demand that a fast-track court should be appointed where these SITs will place before the court and there will be a judicious order so that the people who have been defrauded will be benefited as early as possible. Otherwise, the Chief Minister is surrounded by political touts who are trying to make hay, trying to put pressure. Now when I have lost my property by somebody defrauding me, and I realize that I am not going to get it in my lifetime, I am prepared to sell my right for a few lakhs of rupees. And his political touts will be doing that. His political touts will start making deals with people. Sell me your right. When would the SIT start functioning? Now after this letter, there is news reports that SIT has started arresting people. What is this? What is it? Arresting what? Under what law you are acting? Where are the terms of reference? Why are the terms of reference till today not made public? And when I have asked this letter on the 16th, at 10:15 it has been emailed to them. Whether the SIT is constituted under the Commission of Inquiry Act or it is just an administrative order. I have shown you so many committees, so many committees are formed, just never seen the light of day. Soglo is just trying to divert attentions, trying to create interest. We are looking seriously into it.
Bureau Report, Herald TV.
The special investigation team set up to probe land grabbing has registered a first information report against many persons. The FIR has been registered against the former archaeology director, ex-sub-registrar of Bardes, and Luisa Fernandez, Aitano Fernandez, Meena Ramkant Naik, among others from Durbat Ponda. The SIT has already made its first arrest, Vikrant Shetty, in connection with the case last Saturday.
The SIT had already arrested Vikrant Shetty in connection with land grabbing case last Saturday. Now the SIT probe is gaining steam with another FIR being filed. This time, the SIT registered an FIR against former archaeology director, ex-sub registrar of Bardes, and Luisa Fernandez, Aitano Fernandez, Meena Ramakan Naik, and others. All the accused are from Durbat Ponda.
The hearing in the case pertaining to award of lifetime cabinet status to Pratap Singh Rane has been adjourned. The respondents have not yet filed their reply. The petition of Advocate Iris Rodriguez challenging the cabinet status has been admitted by the High Court. Advocate Rodriguez contended that the government had not taken prior financial sanction from the Finance Ministry as required under the rules.
Advocate Iris Rodriguez argued that the scheme was tailor-made for Pratap Singh Rane. The cabinet status was given since BJP desired to field Rane's daughter-in-law from Pune and Rane was capable of defeating her. As a quid pro quo, Pratap Singh Rane did not contest the election, Rodriguez alleged. Devendra Gaonkar for Herald TV.
The schools have just opened for a new academic year. It is after 2 years that schools are conducting face-to-face classes. COVID is making a slow comeback. Besides COVID, what are the other issues plaguing schools, students and teachers? We find out in a segment of Street Voices. Listen in.
After 2 years, the schools are conducting face-to-face classes. COVID is making a slow comeback. Besides COVID, what are the other issues plaguing schools, students and teachers this academic year?
So the first point is on staggering the start and close of the school days. So in Goa, usually schools begin at 8 a.m. and they end at 2 p.m. So with reference to COVID-19, what I feel that schools could consider the fact of ending at 12 p.m. instead of dragging the schools till 2 p.m. The second point is on staggering meal times. Now what I feel is that students will not want to stand in long queues and maintain social distancing. So the school should make mandatory points that they have to maintain social distancing, they have to maintain hygiene. And the third point is on reducing the class size. Now what I feel is that with reference to COVID-19 again, that usually instead of having 60 students in a class, it would be much better to have very limited students in a class, because this could even reduce the risk of health issues.
I feel since COVID is not yet over and there are around at least 3 divisions in each school, and in each division there are around 40 to 50 students. So I feel at least now in this situation, there should be more than 3 divisions in every school, and in each division there should be around 20 students. And I feel if this is maintained, social distancing will be easier to maintain, and as well as all the COVID protocols also will be easily maintained. Secondly, I feel for primary students, they are quite small, around 7 to 8 year old, and I think they are not so used to school. After 2 years, after a long break, they are coming to school, and usually their school gets over at 1 p.m. So I think that is too much for them, because they are not very used to it. So I think schools should at least reduce their timings. They should keep it around 8 to 12 p.m. School is fine for them. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
So the past 2 years have been pretty laid back because of the pandemic, and so one of the most important concepts to deal with is the concept of discipline. And secondly, in the past 2 years or so, the core concepts that students should have known have not really registered, keeping the fact that a lot of the content had been curtailed. So it is very important on the part of the teacher to recapitulate some of the most important core concepts. And I think those are the few issues that need to be dealt with at the start of the academic year.
Bureau Report, Herald TV.
In an unsavory development, the migrant labourers engaged in the beautification works of the Lohia Maidan at Margao have turned the historical site into an open bathroom. The incident has drawn the ire of several Marga residents who have demanded that the sanctity of the place be maintained.
On Monday evening, a few labourers engaged in works pertaining to the beautification of the Lohia Maidan, were found having bathed inside the historic place. The beautification of the historic Maidan has been going on for the last several months. When questioned by the media for bathing at the historic site, a laborer preferred to remain mum, but continued having his bath. Margam residents called for maintaining sanctity of the place. Residents want police to register offence against labourers and concerned contractor. Marcos Gonsalves for Herald TV.
Deputy PM of Australia Richard Marles is in Goa. He will be visiting INS Hansa and Goa Shipyard Limited in the port town on Tuesday. Marles is on a 4-day visit to India to boost security ties.
The Deputy Prime Minister of Australia Richard Marles is in Goa. He will be visiting INS Hansa and Goa Shipyard Limited in the port town. Marles is on a 4-day visit to India to boost security ties. The Deputy Prime Minister of Australia arrived in Goa on Monday evening. He was welcomed by the Chief Minister of Goa, Pramod Sawant, Protocol Minister Morvin Godino and other senior leaders. As per sources, the Deputy PM is likely to visit INS Hansa and the Goa Shipyard Limited. Bureau Report, Herald TV.
India celebrated the 8th International Yoga Day on June 21st with 177 countries. Yoga demonstrations were held across Goa on Tuesday to commemorate the day. Chief Minister Pramod Sawant performed yoga at Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Indoor Stadium, Bambalim, along with various other dignitaries, students and yoga enthusiasts. Sawant encouraged people to practice yoga on daily basis rather than just practicing it on one day.
India celebrated the 8th International Yoga Day on June 21st along with 177 countries. Chief Minister Pramod Sawant demonstrated Yogasana at Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Indoor Stadium in Bambalim. Yoga demonstrations were held across Goa on Tuesday to commemorate the day. The theme for this year's International Yoga Day is Yoga for Humanity. Since June 21, 2015, International Yoga Day is celebrated annually across 177 countries. International Yoga Day is celebrated since its inception in the United Nations General Assembly in 2014.
पुराय जग हे ऑनरेबल प्रायम मिनिस्टर आनी योगा हे फॉलो करता हे खूब बरें दिसता. योगाचो इम्पॉर्टन्स निरोगी आरोग्य दवरपा खातीर कितलो आसा हे तांच्यांनी पटोवन दिलां आनी म्हणून तर योगा प्रॅक्टीस ही फक्त आयच्या एका दिसा पुरती आसची तर म्हाका दिसता योगा प्रॅक्टीस ही डेली आसची 365 डे आसची हे खूब म्हत्वाचें आसा. म्हज्या समोर सगळे भुरगे आसात त्या खातीर हांव तांकां मुद्दामून सांगता आपल्या शरिराचेर आनी मनाचेर कंट्रोल दवरपा खातीर योग आनी आसन हें सगळ्यांत म्हत्वाचें आसा. एक शरीर पंचमहाभूतां पासून बनलेलें आसा. पृथ्वी आप तेज जल वायू आनी आकाश ह्या पंचमहाभूतां पासून ह्या शरिराची निर्मिती जाल्ली आसा आनी ताजेर नियंत्रण दवरपा खातीर म्हाका दिसता योगा हें खूब म्हत्वाचें आसा.
It is the International Day of Yoga, and we are gathered here to promote yoga as a way of life for promotion of holistic health and inner peace. The theme of this year's Yoga for Humanity gains greater meaning as we recover from 2 turbulent years of the pandemic and we are moving towards a healthy and holistic lifestyle.
Sagun Gowde for Herald TV.
Upon the pressure from councillors, the important meeting called to discuss various issues faced by the Margam Municipal Council with the public participation was postponed and citizens had to return without voicing out their concerns for their town. Councillors are of the opinion that they were not taken into confidence, nor the issue of the meeting was discussed with the chairperson. CEO denied all the rumours and allegations and informed that the meeting has been cancelled only because of the urgent meeting he had to attend in Panjim.
Margam Municipality Chief Officer had called for a meeting on Monday to discuss the issues like traffic management, solid waste management, scrapyard, abandoned vehicles lying in the city, and sanitation issues. He had appealed to various prominent citizens to attend the meeting so that they can provide the civic body with some valuable suggestions to overcome the issues. However, many councillors strongly objected to the meeting, citing the reason that they should have been taken into confidence. On Monday, when citizens found that the meeting was cancelled due to some urgent work of the CEO, they expressed shock. Melita Coelho, a citizen of Margao, said she is very much disappointed to notice that the meeting had been cancelled due to the alleged reason objection from councillors. Savia Coutinho said it was obvious that there was pressure on the chief officer so that people are not involved in resolving issues. Vinayak Mordekar, Carlos Gracious and others also expressed disappointment due to the postponement of the meeting. Margus Gonsalves for Herald TV.
That's all we have in today's news bulletin. Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news alerts, please follow us on O Heraldo on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.